I might have gone too far on this, and I might not be able to walk.
Hey guys, it is Betty, and I am here with my beautiful mama, Rita. That's her. So today, today we're filming a video. My mom, is very adventurous. So she has gone to Mount Everest. She has actually climbed Mount Everest. All the nitty gritty details that you need to know, we got. So keep on watching.
Yeah, I've been preparing myself for a while, and I climb mountains.
What did you think was
For a
the
long
biggest
time.
obstacle in Mount Everest, like in climbing it?
Okay, Mount Everest. Even though we say base camp, you think, oh, it is the base of the mountain, so that's easy. No, it's not easy, because we are talking about going up and down around the world until you get to the base camp. So you go ups and downs forever and ever. The high altitude hits you, and for me the worst part was on the very last day, the last night that we started climbing. For acclimatization, we climbed another mountain besides it, right close to the base camp, base camp. And we started climbing it, and it was icy. Thought I made a huge mistake. My friends lent me those socks, those special socks that you were supposed to wear with nothing but just that. My feet got wet, and with the freezing temperature, it froze. The socks completely froze my feet. I couldn't walk anymore, and I started vomiting, and I had horrible consequences from that. So I couldn't keep climbing that first mountain because I was totally screwed. So I came back crying like crazy because I was about to get frostbite on my feet and on my hands as well. I got back to the tea house, the last tea house, and from there we were supposed to go on that morning, the same morning, to the base camp.
Yeah,
to that in one trip. I was already very sick from the high altitude, and I didn't have enough water because I have hard time drinking water when I need the most. I was falling and trying my best to get to the base camp, but I was already falling and having headache. So through the whole time I had one guide with me, only with me, and he was the most sweet kid. And for the whole time I was walking, and we didn't talk. I was with a strong headache. When I was close to the base camp, somebody passed by me, and this person had, amazing or not, had the perfume of my mom. And I was like, wow, that for me, it says a lot. It was like my mom was there to help me keep going. And I was totally devastated emotionally. So I kept going, but I almost couldn't walk. And when I finally got to my tent, the tent of my company, the guides were there waiting for me, the whole company, and that's when I just couldn't walk anymore. It was almost impossible to get there because it looked like it was even farther than what it was really. But so when I got there, I couldn't walk anymore. My headache was 10,000 stronger than what it was before. Something happened. I felt like hot, and I want to take my clothes off. I started taking my clothes off, but it was very cold. That's what they said, but I was feeling hot, and I was like, no, let me take, I can't breathe, and I can't breathe. And they were like, no, let me help you, come down. So they took me to they have a hospital, mini hospital at the mountain, with the Red Cross there helping people. So Yeah, no, very well prepared. So this doctor started treating me. She gave me 1 cup of meds. It was everything there. Things for headache, for everything.
So they have like a mini hospital.
Mini
there.
hospital, yeah. And as the time that I was there, at the same time, a lot of people coming with frostbite. Yeah.
So that's one of the most common things. Like
Oh
occurrences?
yeah, definitely, and high altitude sickness. She decided that I wouldn't be able to survive if I stayed there any longer because the high altitude was hitting me really strong.
And high
So-
altitude is something you can't prepare for. You
Yeah,
just don't
no,
know how
that
your
is
body's gonna react.
That's correct. So they had to call the helicopter. Thank God I made insurance for that. There is a special insurance that covers helicopter rescue.
And how much?
Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay from your pocket.
How much was the insurance?
The insurance? Was $150. Global insurance, the best for a mountaineering stuff. Global insurance.
Global insurance or global alliance?
No, global insurance, not alliance. Those are the worst. They're really not good. They sent somebody to rescue me, and this person, the helicopter rider, he said if they have called half an hour later, he wouldn't be able to make it because the weather changed very fast, and he wouldn't rescue to fly
He
to
wouldn't risk
where
it,
I
yeah.
was. Anyways, he took me.
So is there a place there for helicopter landing?
Yes. Well,
and how
they
big
make
is that?
it.
How big is that base camp community? Like, is there?
Oh, it's huge. The base camp is really huge. Up to the point that our tent was far towards the wall, and it took me forever to get there. Of course, I was sick already, but anyways, it was
Yeah.
very far away. But so once the helicopter rescued me, they took me first to Lukla to put gas there to bring down to Kathmandu. And when I got to Kathmandu, the ambulance from Global Insurance they were already there waiting for me, and they took me to the Kathmandu hospital, best hospital I've ever been.
Wow.
They are very clean, very well prepared for all of those stuff because it happens very often.
Yeah, that's
And
very true.
one thing that scared me the most was when the doctor said, "I want you to walk in a straight line." I couldn't walk straight line. I thought I was doing, and she was like, "Wow." She was concerned.
Is this a big hospital or a small one?
It is a very big hospital. Yeah, in the city. That's my story.
So, how was your recovery process?
Well, I stayed for one day and one night there with the IV, trying to put back the hydration that I need in order to recover. I had the IV through the whole time I was there until I finally was able to leave the hospital.
Wow.
I did have to pay for the hospital. It was $1,000.
For one day and one night in IV.
950 something. Yeah.
Now, when you go down, is it a different path?
It's a different path because you can go faster. You are going down. Although on this going down, you have a lot of ups as
and
well,
downs.
ups and downs. But I think because the elevation is, you are lowering yourself, so it makes easier to come down.
So when you got rescued by the helicopter, do they go with you, and were you in like a medical thing, or did you regularly just step into it?
I was able to step into it.
Yeah.
But it was only me and
Was there anybody else in your group that something happened to?
No, nobody else. Matter of fact, I got totally disconnected from the group because there are few signs of the high altitude sickness, and one of them is when you isolate yourself and you get into this depression mood.
Wow.
That
I mean, I can imagine.
I was for the whole time, but I had this amazing guide with me. This kid that he was very sensitive, and he could understand what was going on because he's been through he's saying that before. And so he was with me. He didn't even say anything. He was only on my side, and I knew that I had him on my side. So I would keep walking, like heads down, crying through the whole time because I was already dehydrated. I'd leave my friends behind, and I want to just go and just get there, be the
be the first and be
be
done.
the first and be done. But it's not that I did not appreciate that. It's just that I don't know, it is a very consuming feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine, physically and emotionally.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And that's when it makes you think a lot about your life, and I don't know.
Was there at any moment that you thought, I might not make it?
No, I never thought of that because I was so
Keen.
yeah.
Well, what about when you had all that experience, when you finally made it to the base camp? Was there a part of you that thought, wow, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah, that's funny because I always think I'm not gonna. This is crazy. This is the last time I'm gonna do something like that. And then all that it needs is somebody to say, let's go to another mountain.
No.
I'm here.
But I mean, like, what was there at any point when you felt sick up there that you thought that you couldn't do this anymore, or that you thought that you might not make it? I mean,
Probably.
make it as in your life, not make it as in you make it to the mountain.
Oh, yes. Yes.
What moment?
No, especially when I was getting closer, and the night before when we tried to climb the mountain for acclimatization, and I got the kind of frostbite, halfway to the frostbite at least, and it was so painful, and I thought I might have gone too far on this, and I might not be able to walk to my goal, that was the base camp.
And did you talk about it at all with the people that you traveled with? Like, were other people feeling the same way, or is everyone
No,
just
it
kind of to
was
themselves? And
I think everybody was holding to themselves, but I think I have this weakness when it comes to altitude, and not everybody has, and I don't think anybody else has. It was me, and the headache and everything else. But that's crazy because not too long before, like the day before, I was doing so good. 2 days before, I was doing so good and climbing the mountain with headset and singing and dancing, and
your body can just change.
It was, very obvious the change on my mood. It was right there. So.
Well, thank you for telling your story on channel.
You're welcome.
So that's
Don't
how,
ever do that, okay?
If you insist. But I want you guys to know that's the reason why I'm not climbing Mount Everest, or else I'd be all up in there.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's my mom's story time about how she climbed Mount Everest, how she almost didn't make it back, but she's back. And how she got rescued by a helicopter in the world's tallest mountain. No big deal, but she did it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I'm also going to be releasing another video where she talks all about the information from Mount Everest, and more in detail with prices, where she stayed, the cities, and all of that. So stay tuned, because that will be coming up in the next video. And yeah, love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Thanks. See ya next week. A gente não pode entrar em muito detalhe, porque eu não tenho espaço.
eu já tô quase chegando. Você falou.